A lot of people see New York City as expensive, which it is, but there are still other ways to have fun that are completely free. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Mahua. If you hear any construction or traffic or anything else in the background, please excuse that noise because, as you know, New York City is kind of loud, so I cannot control that. I'm really excited about this one because, as you guys know, I make a lot of New York City content, and on the past few videos, y'all have been requesting a few things to do. Y'all have been requesting things to do in New York City that are free, places to see that are free, and I know the struggle because I've been to Paris for 3 weeks, I've been to places for weeks, and I've been to other states and countries, and I know how hard it is to do things that are constantly expensive and you just kind of want to relax and see things and do things that are cheaper or free. So I wanted to give you guys 10 things that I love doing, that I've seen other people do, that are completely free, and it is something that you should do as well if you visit or live here. A lot of people see New York City as expensive, which it is, but there are still other ways to have fun that aren't as expensive and are completely free. So before we get started, make sure to follow me on my Instagram and TikTok, Labyrinth Ave. You can see a lot of my New York City content on that. I post every single day, multiple times a day, and make sure to like and subscribe because I always post things about New York City, and I really hope you enjoy. Alright, the first thing that I want to mention is the Morgan Library. So it is free on Fridays from 5 to 7 if you reserve beforehand. I've been there multiple times. I actually went there recently again. It's such a beautiful library slash museum. When you walk in, you will see so many different art exhibits. Recently there was a little Prince art exhibit and so many other art exhibits, and then once you walk in more, you'll see this very ancient looking library that you'll just feel like enamored by. It's so beautiful. It's such a nice place to see the history in and take pictures in, and you will literally feel like you're a part of history when you're inside this museum slash library. You can also buy food in there, and the area just reminds me very much of European vibes because of the art and the decor as well, and it's just absolutely beautiful. I recommend it to every single person. The second place that I recommend that I actually have not been to is called Ambush Comedy at 2 Boots Williamsburg, and I got it from my friend Art World NYC on Instagram. Her name is Michelle. She posts a lot of New York City content, and she posted about it, and it looks so interesting because first of all, you get free beer. Your reservation also gets you a free raffle to get free pizza, and it's from 7:30 to 8. I'll also put the link down below, and it's just so fun because you'll be literally in a comedy space. You'll have free drinks. You'll have such a fun time there, and I feel like it's very hard to find things that are fun and things that are actually very New York in New York. So this is a really good find. I'm really excited if you guys do go there. I eventually do want to go as well. From what I've seen, the comedy shows in New York City by NYU are pretty expensive. You know, they're 40 to 60 or even higher. So this is a really good steal. I really recommend it to everyone. And Williamsburg is such a nice area, so you can like kill 2 birds with 1 stone by going to this comedy show. You will have the time of your life. The next thing that I actually saw on TikTok that looks really fun, I want to join a class for this, is called the Humming Puppy Yoga, where you can get 2 weeks free to have a free trial. And it's so fun because it's like an immersive yoga experience, and there are so many different difficulty levels of this yoga class. Woo! I'm dedicated. I just had my first humming puppy class right after I said that I've never had one, and it was such a good class. Well, first of all, I actually missed my first class by a few minutes, and they lock you out if you don't get there right on time. But unfortunately I missed it, but luckily I was able to rebook it for noon time, and they had such a nice ambiance. I literally felt like I was in heaven. It was such a good vibe. It didn't even feel like I was missing out on too much, even though I rebooked it for an hour and a half later. I was just reading, and it was such a nice vibe. And then once I got into this class, even though it was a little bit different from the class that I booked, because the original one that I booked was like an 80-degree yoga class, the one that I took today was very meditative, which was really nice. I also really like the fact that they paid homage to like the Hindu rituals and like the actual roots of yoga. And it's an Asian-owned, woman-owned business, LGBTQ plus friendly, and it was such a nice vibe. And then now I look like this because their bathroom is like, oh, their bathroom is fully decked. They have lockers, they have mats, towels, showers, so I was able to get my makeup done without a problem.
So I highly recommend. I really liked it and you should really take it.
And it looks very intensive if you want it to be like that. But again, it's so rare to have classes and yoga classes and boxing classes, whatever it is, with a free trial. But it's a nice way to get some activity in. If you are visiting, it's a nice way to get a free trial before committing to a full-time membership. I'll link it down below. So the next one that is really fun is a city bike trial. This is specifically for NYC HA residents and SNAP recipients in NYC. So a city bike, if you don't know, is kind of like the biking system in New York City where you can rent a bike and bike anywhere you want. And there are ports in like every single block almost where you can just rent a bike or drop off your bike. And it's a very great way to get around the city. So I saw that if you do live in affordable housing or if you get benefits from the government with your nutrition, you do get 1 month free. And I feel like that's such a good deal. But even if you aren't from New York and you do want to participate in something like this, city bikes are such a great way to get around the city. And it's not that expensive at all. For example, if you want to ride for 30 minutes or less, it's like $3. And if you want to get a day pass, it's like $19. It's not bad at all. And it's a lot cheaper than if you want to constantly go on the subway or if you want to Uber. So I really recommend it. Even if you cannot participate in the free trial, it's a great alternative. The next place that I recommend is the New York Public Library. The one that I especially love is the one by Bryant Park. I love it so much because again, it's kind of like the Morgan Library where the art and the ceiling is very Parisian. It reminds you of the European Renaissance art and it's just such a nice place to study in. I used to go there in between classes and my boxing class and it's so calming to be there. First of all, everyone is just working around you. It motivates you, but even you can just go to look at the art and look at the books. And since the public library that I'm talking about is right next to Bryant Park, you can literally just walk there right after. People watch, just enjoy the park. So one of my favorite things to do that I want to talk about now is gallery hopping in Chelsea. So if you guys don't know what Chelsea is, it's a place in Manhattan. It's on the west side, kind of by the water, and the High Line is from around 14th Street to 34th Street. And there are so many galleries there in that area that are completely free where you can just walk into. You'll find so many beautiful pieces of work and it's just such a fun way to spend your time because first of all, most of it is unplanned. You kind of just walk through the streets and you see places that are open, galleries that are open. You just walk in, that's the fun of it. You'll see so many different pieces of work that you won't see in other places. You won't see it in museums. It's all free and you see so many different cultures and so much art. So most of these places are open from Monday to Saturday. They usually close around 5 to 6 p.m. You can make a whole day out of it because there are so many galleries and so many places that you can go to. You can obviously go to the High Line after where you can see more art and a beautiful view of the city, or you can just walk and walk and walk and go into these galleries until you get tired. Or if you're not the spontaneous type of person and you want to make it more planned, there are websites where you can see what galleries are open right now, and I'll include it in the description below where you can actually choose which gallery you want to go to and you can see what's inside of those galleries before you go. I really recommend this if you're in New York. It's a very New Yorky thing to do and it's such a beautiful way to spend your Saturday. Another thing that I definitely had to include, even though it is kind of more cliche, is just walk through Brooklyn Bridge or walk over it. It is literally the best view that you can get of Manhattan and of Brooklyn, and it's completely free. It is such a nice walk, or if you want to bike through it, you can do that as well. You can see so many different skyscrapers, you can see the water. You can literally just stand on that bridge for an hour and not get tired, and it's just such a nice way to spend like an hour or two. I really recommend it to everyone, especially during the summertime. It is elite. I recently just went a few weeks ago, and even in the winter, it's beautiful. I could not do this video without at least bringing that up once. So the next one that I wanted to bring up that I haven't gone to yet either is called Art in Dumbo, and it's only free on the first Thursday of every month. So the next time it is free after you're done watching this will be in March, the first Thursday of March. And this is so fun because the people that are visiting this and participating in this can see a beautiful view of the Manhattan Bridge, the Brooklyn Bridge, see the East River, and they're essentially just walking from one gallery to the next. They're gonna have a whole immersive tour, and I think it's such a different experience because you are going with other people. It's also a tour that is being led by someone for the most part, and you're seeing art in such a different way because you're not just viewing it by yourself, you're also viewing it at night, which is a whole different vibe. So this is so cool, and it's also very unique because it only happens for free once a month. So it's like you only get really one chance if you're here for the month, right? The ninth place that I want to talk about is the Brooklyn Flea Market or the Chelsea Flea Market that happens every single weekend. So I've gone to the Chelsea Flea Market a few times. It is such a nice place to find vintage pieces. You can find so many different finds for such a good price, and they're also very authentic, antique, week. Obviously, when you do find these pieces and you want to buy it, that costs money, so it's not free. But just walking around and just window shopping is also such a fun date activity. Like, I always do it. It's such a nice way to spend your Saturday or your Sunday. It's so nice to feel inspired by these different pieces of art or these different pieces of a culture, and you learn so much from just walking through it. So I really recommend it because it really makes you appreciate the history of the city and the history of these people. The last thing that I want to talk about is to just bring up all the museums, or most of the museums, that are pretty well known that you can go to for free on certain days. So first we have the MoMA, which is free on the first Friday of every month from 4 to 8 p.m. I love the MoMA. It's the Museum of Modern Art. You cannot go wrong with that, and it is absolutely beautiful. You should take advantage of that if you can. Then we have the Rubin Art Museum, and that is free on every single Friday from 6 to 10 p.m. So this one is actually open a lot later than most museums. This is also such a nice place. You see also a lot of Asian art in there from what I've seen. Then we have the Brooklyn Museum, which is free on the first Saturday of every month, and it's open from 5 to 11 p.m. for those free individuals. Again, a lot later than most museums. And this is really beautiful as well because they have really interesting and unique experiences and exhibits inside the museums that a lot of museums don't offer. So it's really worthwhile. But those are all the things that I have for this video that are free, and I hope you enjoy it. I feel like a lot of these things you can easily do a little solo date for yourself, or you can go on a date with someone else, or you can just explore the city with your best friend, your mom, whatever it is. And I just really hope that you get some ideas from this and it really helps you with your experience of New York City. Please let me know if you want more videos like this. I definitely have a lot more New York City content up my sleeve and free things up my sleeve, so let me know if you would want that. Check out my other videos if you do want some more inspo, if you want to learn how to live in New York, how to afford New York, what to do in New York. I have so many videos on those type of things in my New York City playlist. And don't forget to like and subscribe so we can really move forward with all these videos and you can stay connected. Check out my website where you can get apparel like this that I've designed, or you can get my art that I have in the back at labyrinthav.com. Make sure to check out my Instagram at labyrinthav and my TikTok at labyrinthav as well, where I post daily content. And you can also check out my podcast. It's called Difficult Dish, where me and my partner talk about the different South Asian narratives. But thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys later next week.